afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Evan Geyer. Teachers could go their own way on state and relationship subjects. Examples like competitive activities, creations, games, journaling, efficiency exercises, budgeting, chores, state pride, and student teachers. As you can see on the board there, today is the 11/15. It's November 15th of 2022. It's my last of the original short 50 state short movies. And today we have Maine and New Hampshire. Maine is a lack of rules. People may do as they like. So sometimes you think back to the 60s when there was less rules on things. Sometimes you think libertarian, where there would be less rules on things and people are responsible for themselves. If they get hurt, then they are responsible, not the designer of a playground or something like that. So a lack of rules, people may do as they like. That's studying in Maine. That's what Maine studies. And I kind of do as a general rule of thumb, if something goes wrong, before changing it, usually it's got to go wrong at least twice. Something's got to reoccur, and if it reoccurs, then it could be a problem. So that's what I look for in a problem, is something that occurs more than once. Like rules being created to control people based on something not working or going wrong. That's New Hampshire. New rules being created. Like hemp. Hemp has been illegal for a while. However, they say it has its benefits and can create things for the economy that are good. Anyway, like guns have stayed legal. There's been lots of accidents and bad things that have gone on with guns. Um, However, generally, when somebody does something wrong, they're supposed to learn from that lesson or be put in a situation where they will learn because they don't want to repeat the situation. It's kind of interesting that they can take down, um, you know, certain things that are small, and get people in trouble, but however, and then make a rule change based on that. However, when a gun goes off, people keep their guns. Um, I don't know. I think hunting's fun. Could be fun. So it's just kind of how people view things. Um, the argument is that one can't defend oneself in a no-gun area if a bad guy brings a gun. And I say, well, if the bad guy pulls the gun, the defendant's probably going to be late to pull the gun anyway. If it's a big crowded area, they might not be the target though, and then someone who's not the target could pull the gun. Hopefully they don't miss. um, so that's kind of Maine and New Hampshire. Maine, like a lack of rules, may do as they like. Studying that, maybe in Maine they roll back some of the rules that they've had and see if the accidents or the problems repeat. And if they repeat, they could mark that down, and maybe it was a good rule. In New Hampshire, you got to look at, with all these rules, like like keeping track of people, and you got to do this and that. Are we more productive like that, or are we more productive where people can just go and do kind of as they like, maybe at work, or do what needs to be done at work, or at least have a few positions at work where they can do as they need, and the rest could be dedicated tasks, is kind of important. So you got someone who can move around, and you got someone on a dedicated task, and the person moving around is responsible for problems in in the entire building, whereas the person dedicated is responsible for problems in their area, and they can get extra help if they're understaffed by these people who can go anywhere. I'm just talking like what I see from Amazon where I work, um, which would also work in a lot of other places, um, in department stores in the mall. So yeah, I've talked religion before too, and I just want to remind you that keeping who you are a secret is definitely okay. And I'll talk more religion in other short movies, including How to Apply for a Job in 35 Words or Less. But yeah, keeping who you are can be a secret. Everybody doesn't need to know who you are. Um, it just doesn't need to go on because people are for all these different things, and they don't need to know. Even if they're running for like president or something. But they can't apply for the job and say what they're gonna do, but they don't need to know who the person is. They can maybe figure it out on their own too. That's just a possibility. Um, so oil prices hit $84 today. I don't think they're going below $75, and for some reason, if they do, the government has announced they would buy oil at or below $72 a barrel, putting a floor on oil prices. So while I'm long oil, I say trade at your own risk. I'm applying for a job at Edward Jones. So if you want to reach out to me, maybe we can help each other. Um, my portfolio is up over 100% so far this year. And if I can help someone financially, that just makes my day. Alrighty. I was also saying how I was going to talk about the rings and the eternal religion. In another one. So the rings in the eternal religion, well, there's jewelry and stuff, and they have meaning when they're on their when they're worn. However, the eternal religion has invisible, however real, invisible but real, however invisible rings. So they're rings that are actually invisible, and sometimes you can feel them on your body going on to your fingers or something like that. I don't know. Maybe they don't feel them, but it's kind of an idea behind it, and maybe it's all consciousness to help you, even if they you don't think they're real or whatnot. It's kind of a controversial part of the religion, invisible but real. However, invisible uh, rings. Um, so yeah, but they have them for all 10 fingers. They have them for the arm, the belly button, and uh, they could be different for girls and guys. You know what they stand for. Just something kind of fun. Um, and of course, there's a ring to take off all the rings. Um, and yeah, so that's Maine, New Hampshire, and um, I will talk to you later and see you.